paradigm control your perception. And this is just this point, Alan. People, they don't think what they think. They don't realize that their perception, most of the time, is influenced by the paradigm built in their life and what they received from their family and from their childhood.
Yes, because the environment is a law. Law is king. Any law is king in your life, and the way you were brought up into the way of thinking, the way of seeing things. I'll give you an example. Like, we work as partners, right? We're best friends. We're in partners. I never thought of you as just the lower, or so we've always, connected our gifting together to work side by side as king and queen. But I wasn't brought up that way. I was brought up that mom was in the kitchen bringing up the kids and not working and so on. But my perception when I got into the music industry realized that whatever you were, a girl or a guy, you could work in any field into the music industry, right? You could be a manager, you could be a sound man, a sound girl, whatever. So when I got into that area of career that I love so much, it taught me something different. My perception changed because I was in a different environment of the family.
Exactly. Because two different person with the same situation will have a different perception upon the situation. Why? Because of how they grew up, what they received. They don't perceive the same way for the same situation, and they're not gonna react the same way necessarily because they don't have the same perception. This is why it's so important to realize that your perception will influence you for your decision, and your decision will become your action. Then if we don't realize that, then 95% of what we are doing is programmed. It comes from our subconscious, and we don't think about it. We just think that the way we think is normal. Then perception is really important to realize. And so many people, because the way they grew up and the way, from generation, they were talking about Black people or women or whatever, the age or the color of the hair, whatever, you perceive yourself a way, and this way affect your success. And you can here consciously say, I'm worthy to be rich. I deserve to be successful. I deserve to have this life. I work hard. But if in your subconscious you have a duality, then always you perceive this is them, they are the rich, I'm not. Then now you have a duality in your perception about yourself. And you know that you're worthy to have that, or you deserve, or maybe you believe that you don't. But some people, they say, I'm supposed to be there. I'm not at the level of my potential, because you have a duality in your subconscious. And this has come from the paradigm was sown in you that affect your perception.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. If you're looking at multimillionaires, they've got a big boat. I'll never get that. Or if you start wanting that, your perception will, bow down to whatever situation that's happening in your life. We saw this, we talk about Napoleon Hill, who wrote Think and Grow Rich. Think, right? Perception, think. And how this guy was surrounded by over 500 people that are the richest people, the most successful people around. And how come did he ended up without a penny and several divorces? His perception of himself did not change. He carried the DNA of generations, right? And he didn't change it. If you don't, motivation is not enough to change your perception. You've got to be there before you get there. So your perception has got to be in that future constantly. And that's the big struggle, because when things happen and when it hits the fan in your life, you look at your life and you're so affected by the 3D. The 3D effect, it's a law. You're not enough into that spiritual realm to bring that spiritual realm into the natural. That God created us as co-creators. And if we walk out of that, we do not perceive ourselves like we're supposed to be, then everything's going to hit. It's going to influence us. We're going to bow down to every situation. We're going to let go.
Exactly. We have to stop and to realize, because people, they say, why I'm not there yet, why I don't have that, why I don't succeed here. And we have to really, you cannot conquer what you don't identify. We need to identify. It's all from, it's come from inside to outside. And this is where we see that what we manifest in life come from who we are. And someone that has a scarcity paradigm will see like opportunities as risk, and they don't want to take the risk because they have this paradigm. They're afraid to take risk because it was coming from family. Everything that it's risky, they're just gonna back off. They're just gonna, and somebody else is gonna see opportunity like an open door, like let's try, let's do it, like. And it's why it's affecting our success for every detail. In my own life, I had to realize my grandmother, she was only taking risk when she was in the surviving mode. And when she was in surviving mode, boom, she was doing something to come out of this surviving mode to not perish. And when after that the life was just going okay, she was just comfortable, average, staying there, never going higher from this kind of dance between, surviving mode and just okay, surviving mode and just okay. I needed to realize in my own life, my perception, to stop to have the same paradigm and go higher and push and go higher and push and go higher, and not repeat the same thing that my grandmother that she was doing, keep my life between the surviving mode and just enough.
Let us not look back in anger, frustration of the past, no fear of the future, but to be aware of what's around us. Our perceptions got to look around us and we got to be aware of everything that's going on. That awareness is the real thing, the real you. Because if you don't, like you were saying, if you're in survival mode, you only walk and operate when you're in fear. Your perception is the tiger's attacking you. I gotta fight to get out of this situation alive. So when we were used to, brought up in the DNA to be in that survival mode, like you, like even me, survival mode. I'm going to start. Our perception is okay. Let's do it because I see that I'm going to lose, right? I'm in the 3D. I'm in survival mode, and then I start, kicking and doing everything I got to do. Work 24/7, and then when everything comes down, then your perception looks okay. I'm not threatened no more. I slow down again, right?
Yeah.
So how many clients that we get out of situation because they've been in that survival mode for too long, and now they do not even perceive of getting out there, and the people around them are talking all kinds of crap. Well, it's going to be long. Well, this and well that. And I guess it's not God's will, because now, look, we just can't overpower this thing.
Yeah.
Now we got a problem.
Yeah, success is very linked with the paradigm of perception. And my last word that I want to share in this part, because we can talk so much about it, but from my side, the last word I want to share is the law of focus. If you want to change and shift the paradigm in your perception, you need to be aware of where is going your focus, because perception will keep you to a direction of focus that maybe it's the wrong direction. You have to realize that, because where you focus, you're going to have the flow. Then if you focus on the risk to lose, then you're going to take decision and react about that. But if you focus on the possibility to win, then you're going to take another kind of decision. This is why the law of focus is very linked with the paradigm of perception, because what you perceive, you will focus. You will put it.
I mean, if what you perceive is right, is truth, it's going to happen. It's going to recreate itself, right?
Yeah, because the law of assumption is what you believe to be true will become your reality. Then the
That's right.
way you perceive things, that you
Yeah.
believe this is the truth, you will create this reality in your life linked to the law of focus. Then both together, because where you focus, you goes, where goes your eyes, goes your feet, you will follow where you focus. Perception will influence you to take decision, and the law of assumption is if you really believe that it's truth, what you perceive, then you're going to react and it's going to become your reality. Then realize that you're watching this show, it's a gift for you. You need to realize how your family perceive, what was the paradigm of perception with money, success, rich people. They were greedy, thief, manipulator. How they perceived success, how they perceived people, they were looking good, how they perceived for health. And you have to realize maybe in some area in your life you have battle and you have resistance because your perception is affected by what you received.